And so here's someone who seems to have it all. Looks, fame, fortune, success, family, friends, yet still feels that there's this void. So a few years back, a writer for Forbes magazine did a poll for their readers, and they asked this question. If you could say in one word what you want more of in life, what would that be? Now, as the results of the poll flooded in, it quickly became very obvious that there are these universal desires that we all have that exist well beyond our ethnicity, our gender, or our background. And a commonality that proves that no matter where we're from, what we've done, how we think, or how we vote, we're all, deep down, very much the same. So the results of the poll were published in a story titled, "The Top 8 Things That People Desire But Can't Seem to Attain." And now before we go any further, just think about that title for a minute. I mean, it's true, but man, it's so sad. Millions of people around the world spending their lives trying to attain something that's always just out of reach. And the list included joy and happiness, peace and freedom, balance, money, confidence, and fulfillment. Now, obviously, some things on this list are a means to an end, right? People think money and balance and confidence are ultimately going to bring them happiness. And so as you boil this list down, you're left with this more foundational list of what everybody wants. And that's joy and happiness and peace and purpose. And you can ask anyone, anywhere, and at any time. No one's going to truly tell you that they don't desire these things or want more of them. Now, we might spend our lives trying to satisfy these desires through different means, but we're all spending our lives in an endless pursuit of them, trying to fill this emptiness inside of us and this void that at some point in our lives we've all felt. This was my life, and maybe to some degree you can relate. And on the outside, I looked like I had it all together. Yet satisfying these desires, filling this void, it was always right out of reach. In my mind, it was always, man, once I make this amount of money, or once I achieve this level of success, once I get this thing or that, then I will have made it. And feel contentment and happiness and try to find purpose in my life. And my question to you is, what are you chasing? Man, what is that thing that you think that, man, if you can just get it or get more of it, then I'll be happy? Or maybe if you can find the right person. Or maybe you've tried so many things that you're left thinking, man, maybe there's something wrong with me. And maybe if I can just fix it or change this thing about myself, then I can find happiness and joy in my life. Then I'll be at peace. And maybe then I can find purpose in my life. And my next question for you is, why? Why is that the thing that you think will fill that void? And the answer is at least partially because you've been programmed into thinking that it will. And if you're unfamiliar with the principle of mental programming, you need to be. And just by being aware of this principle can help alter the course of your life. It's profound, but it's actually really quite simple. It can be summed up like this. Your brain comes into this world as a blank canvas, or like a computer that hasn't been programmed with any software. And then from the time we're born, our brains begin to be programmed with input or truths, which typically come from our parents and teachers and friends, as well as from what we read and watch and listen to. But here's the problem, that this input, these truths that have been programmed into our brains, that shape our worldview and how we think and act, have up to a certain point been completely out of our control. That's why most people vote and worship and believe the exact same things as their parents do. And as you think about this, you'll probably begin to ask yourself some questions like, what if the truths that have been programmed into my mind aren't true at all? And what if I would have been born to different parents in a different part of the world? And would I still think the same things were true about life? Would my beliefs be the same as they are now? And then this question, this is the big one. And what if what we've been programmed into thinking will bring us joy and happiness and peace and purpose, the things that we all universally want, won't actually bring us those things at all? And one of my favorite pro athletes of all time is Tom Brady. Man, if there's ever anyone that I can look at and say, man, this guy has it all, it's Tom Brady. He's won 7 Super Bowls, considered by some to be the greatest football player of all time. He's got good looks, is incredibly rich, one of the most famous people on the planet, and was married to a supermodel. Yet in an interview with 60 Minutes in 2015, after winning his 3rd championship, this is what he had to say. He said, man, I'm making more money now than I thought I could ever make playing football. And why do I have 3 Super Bowl rings and still think that there's something greater out there for me? It's got to be more than this. And so here's someone who seems to have it all. Looks, fame, fortune, success, family, friends, yet still feels that there's this void that's yet to be filled. That's something still missing. And Tom Brady is living proof that none of the things that our culture makes us believe will bring us true fulfillment ever does. And the fact is that if we truly want to find what's missing in our life, and we have to make the decision to lay down these preconceived truths in our mind and begin to venture down a new path and seek the truth no matter where it might lead. Because I can tell you that it's on that path that you'll find the treasure that you've been searching for. And not a treasure that's hidden, buried, or hard to find, but one that was meant to be found. A treasure that wants to be found by anyone who will seek it. It's a treasure that wants to be found by you. And so if you're ready, hit play on this next video and we'll take one step closer to finding it.